I will start the recording. Great. So the class is being recorded, and I will share with you where you will find the recording for this class as well. Okay. Thank you, Marisa. Good checkpoint. Okay. So as I said, we are in usability, user empathy, usability testing. And let me just go through the agenda for the day. I want to make sure that you are still seeing all of the content. And I'm going to be flipping back and forth between the presentation and also the Blackboard. The presentation is available on Blackboard as we speak. And if you go to week 1, and this is true for every week, you go to week 1 to our Blackboard, UXD5112. You obviously been there because now you're here online. Week 1 will give you all the material that you need for every week. Okay. But we are going to have a chance to go together and see what you will find. So we are going to look at introductions, obviously. So I'll give a bit of an intro about myself. And then the course overview, we're going to look at the critical path. I will show you where to find the critical path and also the course requirements. So we will do that together. And the learning objectives for today, it's review the course outline, the topics, teams. So you're going to be working in teams as well. And obviously the teams that you're going to be creating in this class should be the same team that you're going to create in 5111. So that you are going to work on the same project together and you're going to do your own testing, right, with participants. So, and again, tomorrow we're meeting again. But my recommendation is pick a team that you really want to work with of people, and it's up to you to choose who you want to work with for this class and then for 5111 with the class with Asma for tomorrow. So you're going to be doing designing of information architecture and interaction design as the same team who will also going to be learning about usability testing and also user empathy with Yvonne and all the teams. So suggestion is a team of 3 to 4 and up to you who you want to work with, but you need to find people that you want to work with. And if you already know some people and you work well, then my advice is keep doing that. We're going to start talking about usability testing. What is this course about and what is this course not about also? And just a class intro. So in terms of myself, so I come from the industry. Before teaching, I was working for businesses, for real businesses. And I've been teaching at Humber since the winter semester, and then I taught the winter courses and I taught summer courses, and I'm teaching again this fall. I'm pretty happy. It's a great school. This is the second time that I teach usability testing at Humber, and I also teach another school, Niagara College, Toronto. So there I teach human resources and system management, human resources, and research. So I come from a very strong research background, and I come from a UX background. So I have about 25 years of experiences. And then I worked for businesses. I was very involved in the travel industry as well. So I'm sure some of you would love to be able to travel, to work in the travel space. It's so much fun, right? You sell dreams, you sell vacations to consumer. And then I did that for quite a long time. And then how did I end up teaching is Humber was very interested in getting someone who has a lot of experience in the field working with businesses. So my last jobs in the business was VP of Digital Solutions at Sunwing Travel. I was responsible for all the digital strategy, the customer experiences online, on kiosk, at the airport when it came to digital. So building a strategy, building a vision. And then that also included doing the research to be able to know how is our experience actually helping users to be able to do their check-in when they are at the airport. When they get to the hotel, are they able to interact with the kiosk? When they are about to go on their flight, are they able to do their meal selection? And when they buy that package online, what is that experience? So that was my job. I had a team of about 35 people. So I've managed people. I've helped people to actually become better product designer and better user experience designers. So I have always been responsible of design, analytics, the strategy, wireframing, sketching, testing, doing interviews. So a lot of the methodology that you're going to learn from Yvonne, I have done, and including usability testing, which will be the piece that I'll be focusing on. So I have designed many websites, responsive, and many mobile applications. And before Sunwing, I was at Flight Center for about a year. I also worked at Rogers for about 7 years altogether, and I worked at Air Canada Vacations for about 8 years. In my first career, I will say, is UX, user experience design. So I did a Master of Education, and I've looked at how do we design better software for people who want to learn. And I did a lot of work with children at that time. And this is where I've learned UX design, a lot of psychology. I come from a background of psychology. And then I did an MBA so that I could be higher level and strategy and be at the table with the VP of marketing and the VP of product and the VP of communication and challenge them for the best user experiences. So that is a little bit about me. At Humber, I'm teaching usability testing. I'm teaching information architecture. And then that's pretty it in terms of what I have taught so far at Humber. And also organizational behavior. So there's a course in year 3, which is organizational behavior and UX in organization. So I've taught that class, and that is so much fun. And if I have some opportunities to give you some hints about UX within businesses and how do we fit within a business, I will do this class. But we are going to be focusing obviously on usability testing. But I come from a very heavy psychology background. I will tell you, usability testing is really much about psychology. It's getting people. So it's looking beyond the world, looking beyond what they do and what they say, and be able to read the psychology of the people. It's all about psychology. Now, when you think of user, it's about knowing the people, knowing the customer, knowing the user, right? I will give you a chance to share with me what you think user empathy is, but all about user, it's all about psychology. In fact, everything that you do in design is about helping people, how they think, they like, what they want, what they need, the steps, what they follow, and the words that they expect, and how they understand whatever you're trying to sell them, right? So it's all about people and human and psychology. My teaching philosophy, very quickly, I will try to make you think. I know it sounds funny, but sometimes you question, and I may revert back the question to you and take you through the process of trying to answer on your own, because often you'll be by yourself, right? So I want to help you to start answering and base and using what you already know, and then get to an answer that you will feel confident in. That's really my goal. We are going to do real life scenarios. We're going to do real life. And one of my methods of teaching at in class is really looking at actually going through websites and looking at real websites and sharing with you thinking loud. So thinking loud, we will talk about what is thinking loud, but I will verbalize what I'm thinking and what I look, and the process that I'm following to help you to see. It's as if you're head. And that is exactly what we do in usability testing. Is we are listening and watching people, and we want them to think loud, and we want them to tell us. This is the power and the value of usability testing. Believe me, you will hear a lot about these terms as we go through the semester. Critical thinking, collaboration, anything that you often see on job descriptions that have nothing to do with UX. See and find opportunities to help. I will give you opportunities to discover on your own, and then we will talk about certain concepts. But there will be time where you're going to be able to investigate and read on your own, and then we'll come back in this class. I will not always be the one giving you the answers. And you will either sometimes do that individually or do that in teams, but you will have a lot of teamwork in this class. One element that is very important is you are in a safe environment. So I don't to know anything about usability testing. I don't expect you to be an expert in anything at this point. You're here to learn, right? So I will never penalize anybody for trying and asking questions and then trying and push yourself, right? In speaking in front of people or asking questions or providing an answer that you think is the best answer. So now is the time to actually ask. Now is the time to learn and get collaborative and positive feedback, right? So it's not mistake, we're actually learning. So we're in class to learn. So please, I encourage you to really participate, raise your hand, come on cam. In fact, on the topic of coming online, what I have been told is I'm used to not have a lot of students that will come on the cam, to be honest with you. But it's the benefit is also for your peers. we've got in terms of feedback from the students after each classes is the students wish that more people will come online so that you can see each other and you can feel that you are as if you were in class, so that you can put a face to a name and as opposed to a name in a list of participants. I highly encourage you to do for that reason. Uh, and then I've encouraged, and as I said, I got used to not seeing people on camp, but it's always fun to see faces. And this class is online, 100% online for this semester, so we will not have an opportunity at this point to meet, but hopefully perhaps in the future as well. Now, if the connection or if you can't hear me very well, please let me know. I just got a message saying my internet connection was poor, but I'm hoping that you can hear me clearly and see also on screen. Okay. There are no recipe for usability testing. I will teach you the method that I have learned. I will teach you the method that is pretty much being used by a lot of people that are professional experts, and hard work pays off. So what I have seen is the more people participate in class, the better they do in class. The more proactive you will be, the more engaged you will be, the more feedback you will get, right? So you're giving them an opportunity to connect outside of just the assignments or in class. I see a strong correlation with participation and better marks as well. But everybody is treated fairly and equally. But I do find that the people that are more actively participating actually end up getting better results and better marks. Okay. The course overview. So as I said, we're going to learn how do we do usability testing and why do we do usability testing, the timing of doing usability testing, and then what kind of insights you will get. And then how do we do the analysis, and then how do we do a report that actually can be actioned as well. So that's really, really important, because what happened is you're going to be picking business, and often business will pay you, right? They will say, Marisa, we want to hire you to do usability testing. They expect to be able to take the report and go in action, right? Now, there's a trick there. Sometimes you don't have solutions, but you will find the issues, but you may not know what the best solution is, right? But at least the customer will have a sense of, is my site helping consumer to actually do what we want them to do or not? And if not, what do I need to pay attention to and what do I need to fix? So as I said, we're meeting for an hour and a half in a week. This course is usually in 3 hours. So you will have some readings that you will have to do on your own, and you will have access to some videos that I have recorded from previous teaching that are available on my YouTube channel. And every week I will tell you which video you should be going to so that you can continue on the material, because there's just so much, right? So I will be focusing on what I believe is the more important, the more succinct, the more important for this course in 5111 when it comes to being able to test our design. But there's more outside of this class and the lecture, but I will be providing information to you, okay? So why do we involve users and why do we do usability testing is really a good question. To me, if I don't involve my user, and if I don't have an opportunity to assess if my experience is a good experience, if my design is a good design, it as a plane with an instrument, you may actually hit a mountain. That's really the basis of it. So we are not the users of our solutions. Yes, we use web, we use app, we use web, but we are not the users. So we need to build empathy. We need to know them and not us as designer. And I will tell you, we're absolutely biased as designer. We're too good. We're too good in doing a design. So our customer, when they actually look at the website, they don't look at the website exactly the same that we look at it. So I'm sure you've been through a lot of sites where you have not been able to do what you want, and or you have a feeling that you're actually stupid, right? So we will learn how do we make sure that we prevent this, because it's terrible. It's terrible for you consumer. You're actually going to lose business. Yeah, Blackboard, right? So there's challenges with Blackboard, Michael. Absolutely. So as much as we're trying to design the best experience as a professor, sometimes we're not all consistent, right? And we have limitation of technology, but what can we do the best? But the only way to really know is watching students using Blackboard, right? Watching consumer trying to book a vacation online. You will be amazed and surprised of all the insights that you will find. Okay, so but again, we are not the user, we're designer. And then we are very, very poorly equipped to be able to know if this experience is a good experience. So we are going to be building empathy with users. And it's called usability testing because we are not testing the users. We're actually testing our design. We want to know if we've done a good job, right? Uh, that's really the point. So the analogy that I can use is we are all car drivers. We all drive a car, but we're not mechanical. We know nothing about mechanics. We know nothing about uh, the paints, or we know nothing about how cars are built. It doesn't make us expert in mechanic, but we know that we are able to use the car to go from point A to B. So I think when it comes to a design and a website, we are like a car driver. And plus we are biased. So we do need to sit and spend time with user and be involved with users. And I will tell you, at a minimum, and Yvonne will tell you the same thing, at a minimum, you should at least do one research a year, and you with user, with real people, and you may think this is not a high number. Some companies do none because they think they know it all. Okay, so at least at a minimum, if you do one user research a year, you will be in front of user, and that will make you better when you're able to defend your design. You will have all the answers, you will have the data, you will have the answer, you will have the knowledge, and every research that you do builds on and helps you and makes you a better user designer and makes you more confident in your design. So it's really, really powerful. Just so that you know, at Rogers, I was a director of digital optimization and user research for about 2 years. We did about 500 user testing, user research in 2 years. So I have built so much knowledge. Every month we had one usability testing that we would do with at least 15 people. And then we would do a lot of online A/B testing. I don't know if you're familiar. We're going to talk a little bit about that too. But having all of this insight from 500 research over the course of 2 years, imagine all the knowledge that we had about users and how users actually think of online, was so powerful that in a room, people can, challenge you, but it's insight that you have, it's knowledge that you've gained, and it makes you a better designer. And then you make everybody aware of what you found, and sharing is as important too. So there's no point to do a research if you're not going to share, if you're not going to make sure that people are actually implementing the recommendations, right? And using what they've learned to inform their next design. It's a cycle. Think of it as a cycle. So very, very powerful on what you're going to find and how you're going to communicate and make sure that whatever you found is actually being implemented is as important. So we're going to talk about, as I said, about user testing, usability testing. We're going to validate our design, and we're going to have specific assignments which we're going to work and look through together. And then we're also going to have a project, a combined project with 5111 that we are going to use with real participants and real people that know nothing about our design, that we actually going to be doing testing, usability testing. But before we do the main usability testing project, at the end of for as one of our main assignments, we're gonna have a chance to practice within ourselves and get better, so that when we're in front of people that are actually real customer, potentially your portfolio, you're very confident in actually doing usability testing, and you'll be able to focus really on what the issues are with your products and versus the mechanic of doing usability testing. Okay. I know this may sound all very confusing at this point, but trust me, you will hear over and over, and it will sound very, very familiar as we progress through the semester. Before I do this, are there any questions at this point? Okay, so academic integrity, just some housekeeping, is very important. And so you should be familiar with the academic integrity. There are information about academic integrity at Humber, and it is your responsibility to know what it is. So if at some point we suspect, or I suspect, that some academic integrity has been violated, then it's my responsibility to flag it. And usually what happens, it's 0% of the mark, and then I will tell you, you're going to be by yourself when you come to business. You're going to work collaboratively, but the business will expect you to be good designer because you've done the program and you've done it by yourself or collaborative, but it's been your own assignment. So It's really up to you to do your best, and we really take this very seriously. Blackboard is the main place where you should go and find any information about this course. I use course message to email students. You can also use my email at Humber2, which is Yves.Rannou@humber.ca. But that information is all available on the Blackboard. But my preferences is the course message. For myself, it's been very reliable. Now, my name is Yves, Y-V-E-S, so I don't think I've pronounced, but it's silent S, and it sounds like Evie. So it's French. I'm from Montreal, and French is my first language, so you probably notice that there's a bit of an accent. But I've been in Toronto for many, many, many years, too many years. If I tell you, that will give you my age. But it's pronounced Eve, and you can call me Eve if you want. I'm completely comfortable with my first name. So in terms of submission and deadlines, I'm following the school policy. If you're late and after 5 days, it's 0%. All assignments, and I will show you the assignments and the dates are also attached, and all assignments also into your calendar, because I have created separate assignments for all assignments. So you will see them in your calendar with due dates. We're going to review that in more details. Instructions for each assignment are very important. I will tell you, 90% of errors, often that I see, it's because people did not follow the assignment, the instructions. So as we get closer to our first assignment, I will remind you, but we are going to go through the instructions. But very, very important. In terms of readings, I'm going to show you what the typical week will look like. All of our classes are online. They will be recorded, and the recorded will be available as I upload the videos. I'm not tracking attendance, but the more you come to class, the more you review our recordings and your readings, you will do better. So there's no magic recipe. And I do my best to marks within 5 business days as well, so that you get feedback. And that will become very important as we get to our first or second assignment of usability testing, because they all connected to one another. So I'll be able to give you feedback, and then you'll be able to move on to the next assignment so that you're better. My expectation as we progress through the semester and the assignment is that you take on the feedback that I give you and you apply it, and I will get to know you. And especially because I'm teaching you in this course in 5111. So, I expect that you will take in the feedback and you will build on and get better, right? My goal is that students improve over the semester. And this is why I spend time on going through assignments deliberately and providing feedback, individual feedback for each teams. You're going to be working on teams. Very, very important. You will see that in some of the assignments, I do want to see your individual contribution as well, but this is all part of the same submission. But I will want to see Michael did this part and then Marisa did this part, so that I can give and get a sense of how you perform individually as well. And that will also be through when we do the usability testing. I will actually be looking at some of everybody's how you do usability testing and how you conduct testing, so that I can actually give you feedback. In fact, this is the fun part, and I will be a participant with all teams as a participant, so that and then I will be able to see how everybody is actually doing usability testing. So this is a very, very hands-on and very practical course. Okay, so let me now go to our class, to Blackboard quickly, so that we can look at the same screen at the same time. So I am in our course 5112 at this point. And obviously you've been to this course because you're here. So announcements, I will use announcements from time to time when there's something that I want to cascade to the entire class, not necessarily using a course message, but I will use course message as well in this class. Now, I don't see course message. Perhaps maybe it's been removed. Let me just see if I can add it back for myself. Okay, our schedule. So there is a link for about this course. Yes. So in about this course, there is a reminder about the schedule. So Yvonne has a part and she will share you her part, but it's pretty simple. We meet every week. You will meet for 3 hours. The first hour and a half will be with me. The second hour and a half will be with Yvonne with a 10 minutes break in between. So our part begin at 1:30 and we are together until 2:50. And then you will have time. You will need to reserve some time for readings and assignments and labs as well. So we have labs pretty much every week there is a lab. The labs are very critical, and I will explain to you why. It is an opportunity to test your knowledge before you actually do the assignments, and you will get feedback on the lab so that you can deliver better assignment. That's the intent. So we have class lesson for an hour and a half. We will also do in that hour and a half, we will do some lecture and we will do some discussions, or we will do some blackout sessions where you're going to have a chance to work with some of your teams or your team member as well. So it's going to be a mix, but there will obviously going to be some lectures, but then we're going to also do some real life and some demos as well. So it will be interactive. So we will do that for about an hour and a half. And then the next hour and a half you will spend with Yvonne, and Yvonne is probably going to have a similar structure or so. She will share with you, but you're in it for about 3 hours. And then I will, that is our course schedule. So every week we're meeting online. So pretty simple when it comes to you. And if there are no questions about the schedule, then I'm going to go to our assignment. So if you notice, we have on the left-hand side, there is assignment part A for Yvonne for research, and there's assignment part B for testing. And that is my list of assignments. So what we have done, very simple, Yvonne and I have separated. So we've said there is 100% opportunity for mark. So we each have 50%. So 50% of your mark will be with usability testing, and 50% of your mark will be with Yvonne for research and also building empathy. So in terms of assignment, the assignment you will have with the usability testing part consists of there will be a intro to usability testing and heuristic. So that will be assignment number 5. So we have a sequence. Yvonne has 4, and then I start with number 5, and I have 4 assignments. So you have 4 with Yvonne, 4 with myself. You will have the first assignment, which I will show you what the due date is, and the due date will be by clicking on each one, is 10%. The second assignment with me, for my part, will be a moderated and a remote usability testing, which is also 10%. You will learn more about what is moderated and what is remote usability testing. Then there will be an assignment for eye tracking. Then there will be an assignment for formal usability testing. So that is the final assignment, and that is the final assignment. That is the assignment that is done in conjunction with UXD5112. So the portfolio assignment or element that Yvonne has mentioned, that we will build together in 5111, and we will test in this class. That is your formal usability testing. But you will see that for assignment number 5, 6, and 7, the topics, maybe the businesses may be different. It will not be the same as your portfolio project, but it will help you. It will give you insights on how to really do a super job for your formal usability testing for your portfolio. Okay, so assignment 5 and 6 and 7 are to test if you understand usability testing, to do a super job for your formal usability testing. Okay, now how do you know which assignment is due by which? Very simple. So if you click on Heuristic Evaluation, that assignment, so your first assignment in this class will be Tuesday, September 28, 2021. For possible points, so the number of points, so I go in, I will show you the rubric as well. How many points, possible points, and that, again, if you remember, that is for a total of, I believe, 10%. So the first assignment is the heuristic evaluation, and then let's see if we have time today to review it. It will be due for Tuesday, September 28th, and then you can already see the details of what the assignment is. So this assignment is done in your team, okay? And then there's a part where you have to do by yourself too. But in all-in-one submission, you will submit one team submission, but you will have to show me for each team member their individual part as well. Okay, so this is an example where I'm giving insight. I'll be able to give insight to each one, but it's a team assignment, and that one is due for September 28th. All assignments with me are due on the Tuesday midnight. as well. Okay. So make sure you pay attention to the due date. Now, because this assignment is in the assignment section as an assignment, it will show in your calendar too. So you will know. Okay. So this assignment has nothing to do with the portfolio, the formal portfolio. And as you read through the assignment, you will see that it's specific to a business that you will pick. So you will pick a brand and you will pick a business, and we'll get some more details on that. Yes, that will be your first assignment, Shubha. So this assignment will be done in your team, a team of 3 to 4. And this assignment, assignment 1, 4, 5, 5, 6, and 7, they're not related to our portfolio in 5111. So what you need to do, and that's part of our lab this week, we're going to review the lab. I'm already sharing with you. I'm skipping some elements, but we will repeat it probably. So the lab for this week is you have to find a team. And then you have to think of a company, a website or an app. But I will tell you, it's easier to do usability testing with a website and an app. With the website, so pick a company. You have to pick a company that you want to work for assignment 5, 6, and 7. So, and that will start from assignment number 1. So the intent is you will pick a company. So let's say that you want to pick Roots Canada. Okay, so some students from previous teaching, they've chose Roots Canada. Your first assignment will be about Roots Canada and trying to do a heuristic evaluation of Roots Canada. Trying to understand what is good and bad about Roots Canada. And then we're going to find what are some of the user scenarios that we want to test, we would want to test for assignment number 6. Okay. And then we are going to do eye tracking as well on Roots as well. So you pick one company for the semester that you will use for assignment 5, 6, and 7, and the formal final project will be for our 5111 project, common project. I know this may be confusing, and I'm happy to repeat it, but please feel free if there are any questions. Okay. So you can already go through the details of assignment number 5, if you want, which is the first assignment together. And but first have a team, and then what I suggest is that you review, and if you have questions, but we will at some point review the assignment together so that you can start working on the assignment. The first assignment is all about heuristic. So we're going to do heuristic for the site and the brand that you will pick. Next week, we're going to start talking about heuristic. So we will spend some time on heuristic, the 10 heuristic, so that we have a good sense of what are we going to test in our assignment number 6. I'm just looking through questions. Are there any specifics that we need to keep in mind when we pick a brand? Not particularly, but it has to be a transactional website. So it has to be a website where I can actually buy something, or I can subscribe to something, or I can buy something. So it cannot just be information based. It cannot just be content basis. So I do want the site to have an interactive element. I would say I would probably pick a site of a brand that is also responsive as well. And that's pretty much it. So I don't really care if it's a brand that is very well known, but I will say pick a brand that you probably care about, or pick an industry or a brand or something that you're gonna love, you're gonna have fun, because you're gonna be stuck with it for 3 assignments, right, for a semester. So you may as well pick a brand that you think is fun. And I'm open, so I can share with you some name of brands that other students have picked in the first time that I taught usability testing or any other project. So Roots Canada is one. Structube. So there's Structube, which is a furniture company in Montreal. Structube, I believe. Zara. So I'm just typing in some names in the chat. Roots, Zara. Me in the Box, that was one of them. It was not, I would say, not a great brand, but you could pick anything. You could pick Air Canada, you could pick Sunwing, you could pick Rogers, you could pick anything that you want. Industry, interactive, and like I want to make sure that's probably e-commerce based the best as well. So it's really up to you. I don't know if this is helping or not answer your question, but make sure that it's somehow not complex, but not, it's beyond just a news website. That would be my preferences, because I think you will gain so much more from it being interactive when you actually do the usability testing, and that will help you for your portfolio and your career as well. So Yvonne will be sharing with you some details of some of the sites, but I will say avoid using necessarily the same brand that you would use for the other project, because we will do that for your formal project. Okay. I believe Loblaws is one of the company that Yvonne is suggesting to you for the formal projects. So you will have a chance to repeat a sum in 5, 6, and 7 if you pick Loblaws for your portfolio. Or Netflix is one of them, and Uber Eats, I believe, is one of them. So you'll have a chance to work on 4 big brands, but you can see the complexity of those products. So the closer you are to a Loblaws or a Uber Eats or or Netflix, then the better equipped you will be when you do your formal project. And the easier it will be when you do 5111 too, right? So perhaps you do want to do a grocery store website. So you could think of Metro, you can think of IGA, you can think of Loblaws, right? You will have tons of ideas of what to test. So your challenge will be to pick the right user scenario to test in our testing. That will probably going to be your biggest challenge, but I will help you with that. So I invite you to read the first assignment to understand what the first assignment is. And next week, we are going to jump in usability, the usability heuristic evaluation, very important. A typical week. So let me share with you what a week looks like. So for the week, you will look on the left-hand side. You will see week 1 Yvonne, week 1 Yves. So we each have a tab for each of our week. And then here you will see the course module. So the course module are a repeat of the critical path. Okay, so today is a course intro. Then we're going to have heuristic evaluation. Then we're going to spend almost 2 weeks on heuristic evaluation, but I may short it in. So this course outline is, in what you see right now, is a guideline for the topics. But there might be weeks where we may actually combine, and we may short because we're faster certain topics, but we will discuss heuristic evaluation. We will obviously talk about usability testing. But you see, it's gonna be week 4 that we're really gonna go in depth with usability testing. But before we do usability testing, there are things we need to do, homework we need to do before knowing what are we gonna test, right? Then we're going to do usability testing, planning our test. Then we're going to do conducting usability testing. Then we're going to be spending time on looking at our data. What did we find? And then reporting on our usability testing. All of that will take us to week number 9. So you can see what's involved in doing usability testing, just usability testing, from preparing to planning our material, to conducting our sessions, to doing analysis of our data, to actually reporting on our data. And there's so many ways of doing this, but we're going to do this together. Then week 10, we're going to do eye tracking. Then we have week 11, we have an open lab period. So this week, week 11 has nothing. That gives us an opportunity to make some changes as we go, okay? Then we're going to do a research case study. So I'm sharing with you a little bit of the critical path at this point. And then we're going to talk briefly about accessibility, things that you have to think about when it comes to accessibility. When we're designing or when we're doing usability studies, you will have a better sense of what do we mean. And then week 14, we're actually going to be presenting your formal project or combined mega course project from design from 5111 and 5112 with our piece, my piece, Yvonne's piece, and Asma's piece in one. That's going to be the intent, okay? So that's really is the outline. And then every week, you're going to see a list of readings. So we have readings for this week that I have listed. The readings are tied into the week of the topic for this week, obviously. But then I also have, for this week, I give you some readings about usability heuristics so that you can already prep for next week. And also have some videos, so you're going to be able to look at videos. Then we have a section for lesson slides. So the lesson slides are available usually when our lecture starts. And then it's a link to a document that is on Google Drive that if you have the link, then you can share the link and people can view it. You will see the same presentation that I'm sharing with you. Then we have a lab. So every week there is a lab as well that you have to do. And now in this week's lab, I have no submission. So you don't have to submit anything. But again, it's up to you to do it. But if you do it, you'll be better. And then there's a section for class recording. So, and at the end of the week, what I normally do is I upload all of the videos to my YouTube channel, and then they all have closed caption. And then you can review the recording if you missed the class or if you want to go over more concept. One section that I will be adding, depending on how far we go into today's class, is I'm going to add a section for some videos, async videos that you can review on your own if we don't have time to cover all the material, and which is most likely will happen. And those videos will take you to videos from the last semester. So ignore the dates, ignore the assignments, ignore anything, but focus on the content of what it is that I'm actually trying to teach for that specific week. And an example will be maybe heuristic evaluation and more info about usability testing in the video, and ignore dates, ignore the assignments, so that you can have more insights. And again, because as I said, I used to teach this class in 3 hours, so I have to condense it in an hour and a half. But we're going to be focusing on what's important as well. So that's going to be what you're going to see a week. Usually I make the week available on a Monday so that you can do your readings before a class starts, and then you can get ready for a class on the Thursday. My recommendation is try to do all the readings before we actually meet on Thursday so that you feel familiar with the content. And then stay on top of the assignment, stay on stop. But I will help you with staying on top of the assignment. But make sure you know what our first assignment is, which is the heuristic evaluation, assignment number 5, but it's the first one for us, and the due date as well, right? So make sure that you know our due dates. And if you do have questions about the assignments, please you reach me. And then usually what I do is I either talk about after class, or I keep some time after class, or we book some time as well. So I meet on appointment. I don't have out of office hours, and I'm a part-time teacher, but I will make the time and I will schedule time with anybody who wants to meet as well. Okay, so but that is under my contact info. So this is another tab that is available, and please spend some time to review some more info on your own too, because there's no time for me to go through all the details. But if you do have questions, for the time being, you can, until I find a course message again, I will type in my email in the chat, and then. So this is my email that you can use. Okay. Sorry, I was getting an invitation for Teams for a meeting, but I had to tell Sarah, which I think you know, that I'm actually teaching. So now you have my email. Until I add the course message, please feel free to use my email if you want, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. Or if you have questions after, it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I can stay at 2:50. I can stay for during your break 10 minutes to answer questions. But I'd like for you to get a break, and if not, then we can book some time. Yes. And I'm not sure if I say your name correctly, Shubham?
Yeah, it's Shubham.
Hi,
Hi,
Shubham. Nice
hi,
to meet
Eve.
you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Hi, Eve. I have a question. So, uh, can you give a very brief description of what are the different kinds of projects that we would be working on with the brand that we are picking, so that we can make more of a thoughtful decision with the brand we are picking, so that we know the entire breadth of the different types of projects and things that we were doing with that particular brand? So yeah, it would help a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, Shubham. So, and thanks for the question. I'm sure other people have the same question. So, for my piece, for my assignment in this class, and again, Yvonne will give you a different set of a different brand to work with. Okay, so I know that makes a bit more complex because now you have two teachers in that class that will ask you to think of two brands, but you may want to think. I think she is thinking of Netflix, Uber Eats, Loblaws, And then, but we've said that we would probably keep that for our main big project, our formal usability testing project that I have on screen. Okay, but if Yvonne is giving you an opportunity to actually pick a brand, then try to see outside of Netflix and Loblaws for the other assignment that she has. Perhaps you may want to pick the same brand, the same project too. So I will say you may not be able to have the exact answer now. I will wait to see with Yvonne what she will be sharing with you. But keep Loblaws or Netflix or Uber Eats for the main formal project that we are going to do with my assignments, with Yvonne's assignment, and Asma's assignment for our formal usability testing, which is our number 8 assignment. But when it comes to assignment number 5, 6, and 7, so what you will do, Shubham, and the team is you will have, let's say that you pick Metro. Okay, so Metro is also a grocery store. So Metro is where I can buy grocery online. Your first assignment will be to go through Metro website and actually do a heuristic evaluation, and then so that you can get a good feel of how is the Metro website doing for a specific set of user goals. Okay, so as I'm answering this question, I'm already talking about heuristic evaluation in the process that we follow. So when we think of a website of Metro, we usually go to Metro because we have specific user goal, right? So an example of a user goal for going to Metro, maybe I want to place a grocery, right? I want to buy a grocery store. I'm a Metro customer. I love Metro, and I want to buy my grocery. Any other example of a user goals that you may want to do, or another reason, think of another reason why you would go to Metro or any grocery online grocery store. Anybody wants to give it a try? Why would you go to a grocery store as a consumer?
To buy groceries, I guess.
Okay, so buy grocery is one. Why else? Yes, Shubham.
Oh, my hand was raised from the previous answer, I
Okay,
guess. Yeah,
no problem.
yeah.
Sydney, Sydney or Sydney, why would I go to a grocery store? What would be another reason that I need to go?
To pick up like anything at the pharmacy, so like a prescription of a sort.
Absolutely. Yeah, I may want to pick up. So I want to maybe get some information about how do I get to pick up, or how do I even get my prescription renewed, right? I don't know if I can do it online. Perhaps I can. I do it over the phone. But yes, absolutely. Any other reason why I would go to a grocery website?
For me, it would be price checking.
Yes, Marisa, right? So I may want to do price checking. Maybe I don't know if I want to buy at Metro this week. Maybe I want to try Freshco. Maybe I want to try another brand. And here's another reason too why maybe I would go to a store is maybe I have placed an order. I want to make a change, right? Yes, Sydney. Oh, Sophia.
Maybe there's a sale or discount going on. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking for a discount, perhaps. Yes, Arshdeep. I'm not sure if
Yes,
I say your name, and please, if I
yes.
don't, let me know.
No, it's correct. Arshdeep. Yes, I would go to to check out like the produce because when you're buying online, they would be picking it versus when you're in store, you get a better idea of looking at it yourself and picking out, fruits and vegetables.
Yes, I'm shopping, right? I'm shopping. I don't know, and as a customer, maybe I'm price sensitive, and I don't care Metro or IGA or Loblaws. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna have a budget, and I'm okay. Maybe I'm gonna go to Metro, maybe I'm gonna go to Loblaws, and I'm gonna go to all of them and do my grocery shopping. It all varies. Absolutely. Yes, Stephen.
To get a curbside pickup, maybe.
To get a coupon, you said? Sorry.
No, I was saying curbside pickup.
Yes, curbside as well. Curbside is a new concept, right? Curbside was introduced with COVID. There was no
Yeah,
curbside before.
post-COVID thing. Exactly.
Yeah, it's mostly a COVID. It's a new thing that we introduced. That has added complexity, right? In now there's one more options, and then there was a time where I could buy online or I could actually go to a store. Now I can order and pick up, which is the curbside, and I will say not all companies are consistent. So awesome, very, very good example of user goals. So as a user, I have many reasons. And then what you will do, Shubham, so you will pick a brand, and you can pick any brand. It could be a pharmacy, it could be anything. And then you're going to think about what would be some of the main reasons why someone would come to let's say Shopper Drug Mart. So you will think about reasons for coming to Shopper Drug Mart. The one thing that we often think, and we as customer or as designer, we always often think about making money and bringing more money and buying something and buying grocery and buying. But let's not forget about what if I have already bought something, I want to change, I want to return my order, I have an item that is broken and I want to return it, I want to contact Shopper Drug Mart because I just need to talk to them, right? There are many other reasons outside of buying that consumer will come to your site. So now we already have a brand. So we have, let's say, Shopper Drug Mart. We're going to think about reasons for wanting to go to Shopper Drug Mart. And then as we learn more about the heuristic evaluation, we're going to look at what is the experience, what is the online experience when I'm actually going and buy an item at Shopper Drug Mart. So we're going to look the heuristic and we're going to say, is this a good or bad experience? And then we may discover it's a pretty bad experience. And then we're going to see, we're going to test that experience with user in assignment number 6. Okay. And then we're going to do eye tracking. Maybe we're going to do some eye tracking on Shopper Drug Mart, and we're going to use eye tracking for the same experiences. So think of a user goal as an experience. So buying something at Shopper Drug Mart, wanting to return an item at Shopper Drug Mart, wanting to contact Shopper Drug Mart, wanting to look at the deals that they have, right? So all of the reasons for wanting, if we believe that they're important for Shopper Drug Marts, and this is something you will decide as a team, then we're going to be doing usability testing and eye tracking. So these are assignment 5, 6, and 7. This is what we're going to do. But of course, now we're going to do usability testing. And then we can have all this analysis and data and findings, and we'll say, okay, how do I tell Shopper Drug Mart that it's good or bad? What is the best way of communicating that to them? How do I prioritize all of these issues that we find through these experiences? Some of them are minor, some of them are medium, some of them are high severity. We're going to learn more about how do we decide that. And then how do we package that story to actually scare them or make them happy? But I will tell you, there is no one usability testing that comes back 100% with no issue. There are always challenges. They vary on the magnitude of how bad they are or good they are. But every usability testing that you will do, you will discover things that you had no idea. Now, you may discover that maybe what you thought was a big issue is actually not so much of an issue. And you may find other issues, right? So the first assignment, assignment number 5, will give you what you think is probably broken with Shopper Drug Mart. But assignment number 6 will give you a chance to validate if all the things that you thought that were actually good or broken are actually broken, and what else we did not think that we've actually discovered in the usability testing. That's really the intent. And then, so you're going to do a full usability testing with, let's say, Shopper Drug Mart, and you're going to learn, you're going to go through a full process from planning to your reporting. Then you're going to repeat that for our main portfolio project with Yvonne and Esma. And myself, because I teach 5111, you're going to be designing your portfolio and you're going to be testing your portfolio. Is that answering the question, Shubham?
Yes, sir, it does. Thank you.
Awesome, you're welcome. Kevin, so Kevin is asking a very good question. Do we design solutions for problems that we find? Okay, so there's 2 ways of answering this question. The goal of usability testing usually is to uncover issues, find out what we think is actually broken, and other things that we do not think that were actually a problem are actually a problem. Do we need to come up with solutions? No. The goal is not to go into design, but you will find it's really difficult to not think about design or solutions when you do your usability testing. You're actually going to think of designing a solution and how you could probably fix it before you even finish usability testing, and particularly you, because you're designers. But the goal is not to go in solutioning. So when a client hires you to do usability testing, usually it's to find out what is broken, what is good, what is broken with my site. But it's not to talk about solutioning. Solutioning usually becomes more of a design. Then you redesign, then you sit down, and then you think. That becomes another deliverable for clients that they should be charging you for. But if you're really good with your clients and you really love your clients and you want to add value, where there's an obvious solution on how to fix the issue that you find, you will tell them, right? But sometimes complex challenges and issues that you will find in the testing don't necessarily have an easy solution, and that will require more time. And this is time that you would have to build your customer. So, but this is where you need to be really clear with your customer of what are they hiring you for, and where is the line. And typically, it's easier to say, we're going to help you to see, is your site performing as it should from a user point of view? And then we will share with you what we think issues that we found. You will know the kind of issues that are happening. And then you will learn that in the analysis that you will need to be able to explain why is the issue happening. And then often it's going to be hard to say, well, the solution is, right? So let's say, I don't know. So we go to Shopper Dark Mart and we go through the experience of doing usability testing for buying a product online. And then you find that Shopper Dark Mart does not even tell you how many products are left or if they're out of stock. They don't tell you until you get to the final step. And when you go submit and pay, it says there's no product left. Okay. Big issue, right? So that's an issue because the user will verbalize you. I will tell you, they will tell you. They'll say, it's too late for me to find out that it's out of stock. Why did Shopper Dark Mart did not tell me that it was out of stock when they were actually showing me the product? They're kind of saying this is a solution on how we solve that issue, right? It's an obvious one. And you would probably say, instead of showing out of stock, when someone goes submit my payment with my credit card, why not show out of stock earlier in the process so that they know if it's out of stock or not? Why get someone to go through the checkout if there's nothing left? It's a bad experience. That solution here is easy, but there will be times where the solution may not be easy and you may have to sit down and involve more people. Okay? All very good questions. I'm really happy to see with the questions, and that shows involvement and that shows thinking, and we will discuss that in a lot more details. And that's part of why do we do usability testing. So I'm already sharing with you why do we do usability testing and what is also not usability testing. And I will say the expectation is not to go in solutioning when we do usability testing, and we will not do solutioning in this course with me at 5112, but we will do solutioning. Good question, Kevin. And this is where the beta course comes in. You will do solutioning for our 5111 course, which you will learn more about tomorrow. So for our assignment number 8, when we do formal usability testing, we will find all of the usability challenges with your prototype in build that you will build as part of 5111. But at 5111, there will be a step where when we are done with assignment number 8 and we found all the challenges, you will again move on to solutioning and find ways to fix your prototype and do the implementation of the fixes, the changes in your prototype to make it a super good portfolio. Okay, we will repeat this over and over. It will make sense, but you will have an opportunity to work on solutions for the your formal project in 5111 that we will build together too. I know it's confusing. The mega course can be confusing, but believe me, it will make a lot of sense as we continue. Okay, teams. So let's work in teams. It's check time. It's 2:45. We have about 2:43. You have about 7 minutes left. I'd like to do this little, let me just share my screen with you. And I just don't know that you will be able to use the pen, but let me share this, my Google Slides. And okay, so you're not going to be able to circle because the paintbrush are not available in Blackboard because I should have uploaded as a file, but it's a share file. But you can tell me, or you can type your answer in chat. So perhaps you want to chat your answer. So we're almost at the end of my first block, and I'd like to get a sense, which mood are you in? Are you lazy? Are you on fire? Are you angry? Are you worried? And please be honest. On fire, awesome. I love it. There's no right or wrong answer, right? But obviously, I'm happy to see that people are on fire. Lazy, yes, it's back week number 1, right? Worried, okay, we have several worried. Okay, so is there anything I can do to maybe reduce the number of worried right now? So I don't know if it's about this class. I don't know if it's about the semester. But I'm happy to alleviate any of the worrisome that you might have. I'm happy to see a lot of fire. Anybody wants to share a bit of why we worried that you believe that I can help with? I'll be happy to help. But believe me, I was really overwhelmed too when I was introduced to the mega courses. I'll be honest with you, and I was thinking, how is this going to make sense to our students? And it made sense to me, but it took me a time to digest it. So give yourself time, okay? Give yourself time. Tomorrow we're meeting again. So a lot of what we talked about today, about me, who I am, what I've done, we're gonna go right into 5111 tomorrow. But we're gonna save time. But I'm the same, so I'll be able to connect where I can connect the pieces. So I'll help you, and hopefully that's gonna reduce your worries some. Is there anything I can do right now to help with being overwhelmed, Shubham, or worrying? Happy to help. Okay, if you think of something, let me know. If you need to contact me after. So let's keep going for our next we're gonna be diving in, but I think we may not be able to do a lot of dive in. Because we only have about 4 minutes left. So as a reminder, if you can focus on the lab for this week. So let me just put back the lab. And I will share with you the videos that I think that I'd like for you to review so that you get more insight. I will be adding the async video so that you get more about what else I wanted to share with you that we were not able to cover because we have a very limited time. So I'll be adding the async video. Let me make a note. The videos are fun. You can pause, you can rewind, you can do anything, right? You're not going to miss out. But please contact me if you have questions. I'll be more than happy to help you. For this week, your lab, there's no submission, but please go to week 1 and then scroll down to lab. I have a demo, I have a live video that I want you to look when that talks about thinking aloud, a loud demo. This is the power of usability testing. Think aloud is the power of usability testing. You will see it, we will do demos, and there's a demo that I'd like for you to read about. I will use thinking aloud in class when I teach. So it's as if you're getting into my head. Form a team of 3 to 4 members. I don't need to know who works with whom, but at some point I will know because your first assignment, you will have to put all your names on. It will be one team submission, but you will have to follow the instructions and you will submit on Blackboard and you will put all your names, right? So that I can't add the marks to all the teams in Blackboard, but I only need one team submission. And pick a company or a brand. I've already shared with you some. Drugstores are fun, events, maybe Ticketmasters or events, show, theater, but something that has transactions as well. And then, so pick a name for our assignment number, a brand for assignment number 5, 6, and 7. And for the main project, then Yvonne will guide you what will be some of the companies that you will do, and we are going to use for the main project. We're going to use the same brand for 5111 and for our assignment number 8. But you do need to pick a brand with me that you will want to work for assignment 5, 6, and 7. Okay? So, and you don't need to worry so much about the main project in this class, but my pieces yet, because that will come later. But tomorrow, 5111, my recommendation is also, as I said, the brand that you will pick for 5111, 12 with me, we should be the same brand that you want to use for 5111. And tomorrow you're going to learn more about 5111. But 5111, what you're going to do, let's say that you pick a Shopper drug part, we're going to rethink of the information architecture. So we're going to rethink of the information architecture. We're going to rethink of the navigation. We're going to rethink of a user flow for a specific experience. Let's say buy a product on Shopper Drug Mart. Okay, so on that topic, Shabam, then you said, what kind of assignments do we have? In 5111, you're going to learn everything about information architecture. So pick Shopper Drug Mart. If you pick Shopper Drug Mart for 5111 with me, 12 with me for the usability testing, but also pick that same brand and the same team and the same brand for 5112, 11, where we're going to do information architecture. We're going to rethink the information architecture of the site that you're going to be working on, and then also rethink the architecture for the navigation as well. Okay. So bear with me. You're going to see me tomorrow. I'm going to be repeating a lot of this, but also we're going to jump in. So it's 2:50. You have a 10-minute break now. And then there were not too many slides left about diving in, because we're going to have a chance to talk more about usability testing. Obviously, this is the topic for this course. Today was very, very housekeeping, and I look forward to the semester, and I look forward to meeting you tomorrow again in 5111 as well. So it will become redundant, and I look forward. If you have any questions, I'm happy to stay for the next 10 minutes. If not, please reach me via email, and we'll see you tomorrow for 5111 as well. So come back at 3. I'm going to keep the session open, but I will leave the session at 3 when Yvonne joins. So you stay on the same Blackboard. Don't go anywhere. Yvonne will come back at 3, and then me, I will leave, and then you'll be with Yvonne. She's lovely, and then we'll see you tomorrow at 5111 at 12:30, I believe, in the afternoon. But I'm happy to stay here for any questions that you may have.
Hey, Eve, I have a quick question.
Yes, go ahead.